friends. Thanks so much for joining this Halloween evening, which I'm sure is not going to be very convenient for most people. But I'm so glad you guys can be here. Yay! So, I had a couple of questions on Instagram about how I decorated my gratitude documented journal that I got from the Illustrated Faith Etsy store. So if you don't know Illustrated Faith, you can go find them on illustratedfaith.com or at their Etsy store. You can search for Illustrated Faith. They're really great, and they're kind of like the premier Bible journaling people right now. Anyway, but for the month of November, they're doing a cool thing all about documenting your gratitude for lots of things in life. And so they made these little journals, and then they come with a little stamp set here. Oops, oh goodness, got my water bottle there, which is cool. And so when it came, it was white, like this. And for each day, there's just a different prompt. I don't even think it's for day. I think it's just different categories of things you can be grateful for. So, I mean, you definitely don't have to go yay, you ordered. So definitely, like, you should consider ordering it. If you can't, I think that you could easily just kind of make your own gratitude journal for the month of November. Don't think it's necessary. I know that Illustrated Faith is going to be emailing out, I think, some like Bible verses each week that go with this. So I'm very excited about that. Anywho, so I got it and it was white and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I wasn't going to do anything. And then I saw that Amanda Cabrera, who's Amanda on Purpose on Instagram, had watercolored all the pages. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I'm going to go through and do that too before the month starts, just so I can have kind of like a bright, fun palette to work on when I'm journaling later in the month. So I did that. I will say that I did not realize at first how many pages there are. I think there's like 20 pages. And so it took me a little while to watercolor every page. And if I'd realized it, I might not have begun. But I'm really happy now that they are all colorful. You can show a couple of them where I had some leak through, like here, like I must have used too much glue on some page and it leaked through here, but I don't really care about that. If I really did, I could put some like washi tape on top of it or something. Anyway, it was a little difficult to do these all at once because, you know, you get these and they're wet, and then I started off and I would hit them with a heat gun, but then I would just turn the page and then get this all wet, so then this page is just wet again. So I would sometimes kind of like put a paper towel in between them, do several pages, and then go back and try to dry them with the heat gun or a hair dryer. So just wanted to tell you that that's what happened there. I can also tell you that I am a completely self-taught watercolorer. Before I did this, I went and just Googled like how to make a watercolor background, and I watched a couple of YouTube videos and I followed those instructions. So I'm gonna do a quick tutorial here on the front cover because I left this blank when I was first starting, and then by the time I finished I was like, I'm not gonna go back, but I will do it right now for you guys. So I'll just show you how I did it. Feel free to do something different. I'm quickly going to show you this, and I'll do it again at the end. But if you go search for this on Instagram, you can see a lot of ways people have colored their journals. These are some of the people I know who did it, who I really liked, and the people have done lots of different things. Like Jess at Bumble and Bristle did acrylic paint. I think so did Janelle. It does come with these titles. I didn't add them, so this was already printed. And my nails are not Jamberry. In my previous life, before I was into Bible journaling, I did nail art, so I just painted that on. Anywho, so yeah, so they come with these titles, which is actually kind of cool because there are several that I'm not sure I would have thought of, like connections or, you know, courage. Yeah, there were several things that I'm not sure I would have thought about if I had like just gone and made one myself. So I thought that was cool. All right, so the way I did all of these pages, and I did the front and back cover as well, was I started off, I took like a slightly bigger brush, got it all wet, and then I just completely wet the page first. And this paper luckily is pretty thick, so it's not really gonna leak that much, though I do have my little mat here that I might put under just so nothing runs on the back side. There we go. Okay, and now I've taken the smaller brush. I could probably still use the bigger brush, but this is just the brush I always use when I watercolor. And I'm just gonna dip it in some colors. And since the page is wet, when you get the color on, it'll sometimes spread a little bit, which I think is cool, a cool effect. And you can also kind of like tip it if you want it to run in a certain direction. I think that's fun. Go. This is going to be a more orange yellow page, I think. Oops, let me get some better orange. That sometimes your oranges look exactly like your yellows. There we go. That's a little different. And if you drip some like I just did, I just keep a paper towel handy. And when you first do it, it's pretty easy to just wipe it right up. There we go. Can I move? Oh, yes. Sorry. The pages, I'm trying to think. They aren't really cardstock, but I think they're definitely a heavier weight paper. I saw someone refer to it as watercolor paper, and the cover is kind of thick like watercolor paper or cardstock, but the pages themselves aren't really as thick as watercolor paper. We can come look at the back side in a second, and you can see that it does run through a little bit sometimes. I mean, the back side of this paper will definitely seem wet. It might not seem like anything's running, but it will seem wet. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this paper towel and get a little bit of the stuff that's around the edges where it's a little bit more of a puddle. You could always leave that if you have like lots of time for it to air dry. Here. So so you can tell, I don't know if you can tell. The page is definitely wet. It's not like this is like sopping wet. Yeah, 110 pound cardstock might be right. I'm not a super paper expert, but it's definitely thicker than regular paper. I'm gonna do the inside of the front cover real quick for you too. Do this one, maybe with some reds. I tried when I was going through to do it in like rainbow order, RGB order. So that's what I'll do now. All right, so red. I think here you can kind of tell how it's spreading since the page is wet, which I think can be a neat effect. I'm gonna do a little pink here. This is kind of pooling, so just tap it around and then dab it a little bit. There we go. And the nice thing about this is that it's pretty user-friendly, and if like different colors are kind of swirling together weirdly, you can usually like go back and fix it or change the colors you use later, wait for it to dry, and then add more color if it dries a little too thin for your taste. I was doing a page in my Bible last night and that happened. I put a paper towel in there and closed the Bible, and then when I came back, the paper towel had kind of soaked up some of the pigment. I was a little bummed, so I went back and just added more color. Just gonna dab this stuff that's here in the and maybe add a little bit more here. There's a couple of more bald spots. That was the word I was looking for. Maybe I'll just have it run down this way. Okay. There we go. All right, yeah. So that's just basically what I did on each page. I was not that fancy. And I figured I would just kind of go ahead and do all the pages, and then when I go back throughout the month and I'm adding stuff, like I can journal and maybe I can stamp some stuff. But I thought that this would mean that like I would actually spend more time journaling if I already had all the pages fun and colorful, than if I like was spending time doing that during the month. So that was the method to my madness. Anywho, any questions, comments? I'm really excited about this month and documenting my gratitude for like everything in my life. I'm really excited about it. Great. Okay. Well, here's this again if you want to go look at some other examples of how people decorated their gratitude documented books. People like different people have used like acrylic paint, or they've actually like painted flowers. Like there's a lot of really great ideas out there. I decided to kind of keep it more abstract and colorful, but you can definitely do whatever you'd like with it. And other people have used stickers and washi tape, and I might go back and add some of that. I think I wanted to wait and see what I was going to write before I added more embellishments. Great. Well, I wish you all a great, so will I be adding to the cover? So I think I might add to the cover. Let me put a paper towel so I can close it and look at the cover. Mostly just because there's kind of a lot of space here. I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. I've been thinking about it. A lot of other people had like word confetti stickers that they've placed there. I might do that, or I might like write like a very short Bible verse about gratitude, or maybe stamp it if it's very, very short. I'm not sure yet. I think I will probably add something. I could also add some like decorative like washi tape in stripes. That was another idea I had. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. We'll see how by the end of the month what it looks like. I might post a after picture on Instagram. Anywho, the other thing is oh, I got a little finger mark. When you finish, the pages are going to curl a little bit. Like as you can see, this one is curling. And what I just did was after it was dry, like I left it out to dry overnight. And I hit some of the pages with heat gun, as I said before. I then just put it underneath my my Bible for like a day and had it flatten out. And it is like way, way, way flat now. Like you can tell here, like there's a little bit of wrinkling, but it was a lot wrinkly before. So anywho, okay, great. Well, I'm really excited to see what everyone else does to their journals. Please tag me if you end up doing something. All right, have a great rest of your Halloween and a fun November. Talk to you guys later.